Hello, welcome to Algorithms. My name is Saurabh, and today we are going to discuss about network security, how you monitor and control the outbound traffic. Now, network is a fundamental component of your organization's infrastructure, and restricting communication to only the traffic necessary for system to function helps reduces the potential for compromise. This architecture is aligned with the Australian Cybersecurity Centre consumer guidance requirements, and there are specific requirements for different areas. For instance, logging, auditing, remote administration, data ingress, data egress. So in this case, we are talking about egress, which is outbound traffic, and this reference architecture addresses all the components which you have in your organization is specific to network security, and it maps with almost all the ACS requirement, which actually maps with ACSC protect, implementing network segmentation and segregation, and to assist with the securing systems in cloud environments. The ACS has published cloud computing security for tenants. Okay, now you can look at the ISM as well, which is information security manual published by ACSC, which has listed the different controls that you have to implement, and there is a description implement network segmentation and segregation, high bandwidth, low latency, reliable network connectivity, apply technologies at more than just the network layer, use the principles of least privilege. So these sort of requirements are defined over there. You can have a look, but let me start with the architecture part. So these are the architecture components. So this architecture diagram depicts the possible path that network traffic can take when exiting a system that is deployed into a subnet in a virtual network. So traffic in a virtual network is managed and governed at a subnet level, with the routing and security rules applying to the resources contained within. We know that those who are dealing with the infrastructure, those who are solution architects and enterprise architects with a strong knowledge on cloud, they must be knowing these fundamental aspects. If not, I guess this is a good presentation for them to have a complete look and then watch some of the previous presentations as well to get a good understanding of how all these things are designed and how to make sure different components of the organization are has to be covered from the security control perspective as well. And the components related to egress or outbound traffic systems are divided into effective routes, next hop type, security controls, and platform as a service egress as well. Now there are different component in different area. For instance, virtual network, subnet, network interface, public IP. Similarly, when it comes to routes, there are system routes, service endpoints, route tables, border gateway protocol, next hop types defined, virtual network, VNet peering, virtual network gateway, virtual appliance, internet. Similarly, there are security controls. So security controls are, for instance, network security group, Azure firewall, Azure virtual appliance, Azure network virtual appliance, service endpoint policies, Azure policy, and there is a guidance as well. So you can limit the number of outbound points for virtual networks. You can override the system default route for all subnets that do not need direct outbound communication to the internet. You can use identity controls such as role-based access, conditional access, and multi-factor authentication to limit network configuration privileges. Now, as you can see in the diagram, it is very clear that what you need to implement in what scenario. For instance, when we are talking about different components and different system, so it clearly reflects that when we are talking about network virtual appliance, you need to use Azure firewall. Similarly, when we are saying subnet, you see a symbol for network security group is reflected here. Similarly, for network interface, you can apply rules using network security groups. So this explains what are the different systems or components involved, and what are the different security controls that you need to implement. It could be firewall, it could be network security group, and then each area, for instance, when we are saying network security group, means there are different dimensions to network security group, what you cannot control. Same with the firewall, same with the network virtual appliance, same with the service endpoint policy, same with Azure policy. Now that really depends upon the organization that you are in, and what are the vulnerabilities that you have identified and how you want to prevent it, or from the future threat perspective, what are the controls that you want to apply. So it's not there is no there are some general guidance as well, and this covers, that's the reason I covered all of them, rather than going for just some of them. So you just look at this diagram, and then previous one which I presented as CIS uh, security controls for Azure, and then you can map. So you have different reference architecture, you have different security controls, map it, and then map it with the tools, and then it will be very clear to your executives, even if you are going for a business case approval. And it will be easier for the technical audience as well to understand that, okay, how things look like from end-to-end perspective. I guess this is it from my side. If you have any questions, please drop in the comments box below, and you can refer to other presentations about the security controls and the different aspects of security. I'm going to talk more about logging, auditing, and visibility, and all these presentations which are specific to ACSC are specific to Australian region. So the customers who are in Australia, they have, it is very important for them to understand these things. A lot of them they do, but the new security architects or those who are entering in this field, they have to understand the laws or the security controls specific for Australian region, and they have to understand information security manual as well. What are the different requirements and how it will be implemented. So as you can see, if you go for a course, it is going to cost you a lot of money, but in these presentations you get a complete idea, and it is more of a real time. So you are not just getting a theoretical aspect, you are getting the architectural aspect. You can take this, put it on a document, and you can just tailor it according to your need, and you are good to go. I guess this is it from my side. Thank you very much. Have a great day.